Hi everyone, welcome back to the Code Learners Helpline for Software Development. This is the video of walkthrough of a new toy programming language which is BhaiLang. For those who don't know what the word Bhai means, it basically means bro in English. It was developed by two Indian techies, Aniket Singh and Rishabh Tripathi. So in this video I am going to show you how you can install and run BhaiLang and also give one of my personal opinion regarding this particular language. So let's get started. This programming language is basically written in Typescript, and if you want to run this locally, you need to install this command globally. So I'll just copy this, and here I will paste. I have created a new folder here called toy, and inside that I'll create another folder called demo. And now I'll go inside the folder and run this particular command, which will install BhaiLang. So it has been installed now, and if I open my Visual Studio Code here, if you want to run BhaiLang, I'll create a file here, test Bhai extension. So the first thing is the Bhai language basically executes under a particular tag specified by the programming language. If you come here, you can see that there is a starting point called hi bye and the end point called bye bye. Basically, you can consider this as the starting position and the end position, and in between of this particular lines, whatever thing we have written here gets executed by the compiler. I'll show you an example here so I'll show you a simple example here. Is the start and bye bye is the end. And if you want to print something or do any logical operations, so you have to do in between of these two phrases. So here to print on the console I'll do bol bhai, and here we'll write hello world and save this. If you want to execute it, come back to the terminal, and here you can simply type BhaiLang, the name of the file test.py, and here we have executed, but we have an error here, and you see we have forgot to add a semicolon at the last. Just add a semicolon and try again, and now you can see this particular gets executed. So the one thing what I liked about the Bhai program is you can easily learn this within 20 minutes. So this is a documentation which is very easy and understandable. So here we have completely given the details of how to use them, and we can just use different kinds of variables. We can just do a condition checking. We can do looping and all. So all these things we can do, declaring variables. So you can declare many types of variables here. Here the first thing to declare a variable we have to use by ye hai phrase, then followed by the name of the variable. So this is basically string, and if you want to add an integer, then you can type the phrase, and then you have to use age is a variable name and 18. This is an integer. And the same thing, if you want to have a boolean value, you can have by ye hai sahi. So basically sahi means true, and if you want to give a false, then you can simply add galat. Galat basically means false in English. And the next thing, if you want to assign null value, then you can give here null. So this is basically is a null. The next thing is you can print all these variables in the consoles. For that we use console log, but in Bhai you can use bol bhai, My name is followed by the comma and then the name, then comma. Then I'm basically concatenating strings and variables, and here I'll use and age is age. So now I will run this, and this is how our output gets displayed. So the next thing is doing a conditional statements. So for conditional statements, I can do if condition, if else condition, and also ladder if is possible. To do a simple if, the one thing what is happens is, for example, I have to use a phrase called agar bhai, and inside this I need to add the condition. Inside this agar by block, you can execute the statement if the condition becomes true. So you are eligible to vote. And if you want to display the else part of this if block, then here you need to add varna, which means else. Just like this. Okay. So, like this. You are not eligible to vote. So you can also do instead of if else, you can also use a ladder if for here. I can do agar bhai is greater than equal to 18. Just copy this. And if you want to add ladder if you can do nahi to bhai. Just copy this and paste it here. So now let's try execute this, and we are not eligible to vote. The next part is we can also have a looping statements here. We only have one kind of looping statement, that is which is a while loop. To do to perform looping operation here, we have to use a phrase called jab tak bhai, and here you need to add a condition here. Suppose let me declare few variables here. This is index, which is 0. Index should be less than equal to number. So I want to display a text for n number of times. Here I need to have an index which increments on every loop, and I have a number here. Uh, I for every loop I need to increment the index. So for that I need to use plus equal to 1. Make sure that plus plus won't work here. So plus equal, you need to specify plus equal to 1, and here if you will display a text. Now, so we have expects a semicolon. Okay, so it is looping. It is able to loop over a number of times, and here you can add some conditions also. Here you can add some conditions also. I just want to print only the even number, so I can do agar bhai index is equal 0. Index, I basically want to skip the 0, is equal to 0. then just increment the index. Apla dek bhai, which means to continue. Basically this means continue. And I'll just take this inside of this if block. And here it displays even number. If you want to use a break, then you can simply use a bus kar bhai, which means it will just break the just act as a break statement. So this was all about the bhai programming. So my final take on this programming language is that it was very easy and comfortable to learn. For those who have basic knowledge of JavaScript and programming, it will be easy to learn this within 20 minutes and all. But what I think is we have this program for fun, but there are a lot of things like I can declare variables, but we don't have functions to declare functions. So I want that so I request those developers who build this program language to all add those functionalities and try to make this programming language as better as possible. But the thing is, I also want to try this programming language for the real world small projects where I can build some small apps and to do apps and all. But overall, I this was a very easy programming language to learn. So this was all about BhaiLang. If you like my video, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.